Yeah, that works. That's probably the nicest thing he's ever been named.
Last time on AI Wasn't Made to Do That, we took Google's Gemini through the first gym of Pokemon Leaf Green, which was both impressive and not really all that impressive. The challenge was to beat both Brock and Misty, the first two gym leaders of Kanto, so beating one of them was pretty neat. Failing to beat the other one means it failed the challenge. But, as I teased in that video, I had attempted to do this before. However, there were a few different things that went wrong during the first attempt. The rule for this challenge was that the chat couldn't be reset. That means Gemini will accumulate more and more brain damage as the chat goes on, because that's how these AI chatbots work. The problem is that Gemini was having server issues when I was recording the challenge, and went down a few different times while the challenge was ongoing. This wouldn't have been a problem, but I wasn't saving my chats, so every time Gemini went down, the chat had to be reset. Because of that, I consider this to be a failed attempt. And while I would have tossed everything in the trash, I thought Gemini actually had some of its highest highs, and some of its lowest lows during it. And now, let's talk about the inevitable arguments about what this video says about AI. An AI's high moments are going to be used as evidence that the AI is useful, and its low moments will prove that AI is useless. Keep in mind, whether you're for or against AI, everything beyond a certain point of this video is a failed run, and I honestly don't know which side that helps more. In general, treat this video as entertainment first and evidence second. Also, the gameplay footage met an untimely video compression, and it looks kinda rough. There's nothing I can do about it, so sorry that it looks kinda bad. And also, I decided to show Gemini's responses as they were written because some of the things it did needed to be seen as Gemini presented them.
Okay, so we are going with Bulbasaur, which is this one? It is this one. Absolutely, giving it a nickname can make your journey even more personal. It can be anything you like, something that fits its appearance, personality, or even just a random word you find funny. Ivy. Bulbasaur has definitely been named worse things than that before, so this is the first battle. We're going to have Gemini direct. In this case, if Gemini loses, it's kind of up to luck anyway, unless Gemini just uses Roar, Growl, whatever the non-attacking move is for Bulbasaur. Defeat is better, but it's a learning experience. Let's head back to Professor Oak's lab to heal Ivy up. After that, we'll need to explore the world and find some more Pokemon to help us out. Maybe there are some stronger Pokemon in the tall grass nearby. Doesn't really work that way. Let's head to Route 1. It's time to catch some new Pokemon and train Ivy up. Hopefully we can find something to give her a type advantage. Alright, Ivy is male, but whatever. I'll try to catch it. Let's see if I can add a new member to our team. I'll throw a Pokeball. Okay. Drat, you're right. I completely forgot about that. Looks like we'll have to weaken the Rattata a bit with Ivy and let it go. Ah, what a shame. We accidentally defeated the Rattata, and now we get the benefits. Darn. Oh no, Ivy is low on health. We need to get her out of there before it's too late. Run away, let's retreat and heal Ivy up at the Pokemon Center. There's a Pokemon Center in the town to the north. Let's see what it wants me to do. That's where Professor Oak's lab is located, and there should be a Pokemon Center nearby to help heal Ivy. Okay. That's wrong. There's no Pokemon Center in Palatown. Now let's see if we... Yep, we encountered something. Let's see if it remembers that Ivy is low health. I'll try to run away. Ivy's still pretty weak, and I don't want to risk another battle right now. We need to get her healed up before we can tackle any more challenge. It remembered. It also never confirmed if Ivy was male or female. And it's wrong, so... it's whatever. I'm not going to bother correcting it until it comes up. That's odd. There should definitely be a Pokemon Center in Palatown. It's a crucial location for any Pokemon trainer. Let's try exploring the area around the lab a bit more. Maybe we overlooked it. This is where Gemini is concerning, because during the Majora's Mask video, it was adamant that we need to get to the southern swamp. And if I told it we couldn't, it said, oh yeah, that's right. And then it would send me off on some other quest. And then that quest was wrong, and then it would tell me to go to the southern swamp again. I'm worried that we're never going to escape Palatown because there's no Pokemon Center here. That's strange, there should definitely be a Pokemon Center in Palatown. It's a crucial location for any Pokemon trainer. Maybe there's a hidden entrance or something we're missing. Let's try talking to Professor Oak or your mom. They might know something. Who do you want to talk to first? Don't ask me, dude. This is your journey. Let's talk to Professor Oak first. Okay. He's the one who started us on this journey, and he might know something about a missing Pokemon Center. Plus, it would be good to update him on Ivy's progress and our failed attempts at catching Pokemon. Your failed attempts. Gemini, raise your young Pokemon by making it battle. It has to battle for it to grow. That's strange. Professor Oak should know about important locations like a Pokemon Center. Let's try talking to my mom next. Maybe she knows something. Now this is interesting because Gemini's mom should actually heal us, so maybe this will get Gemini's mind off of the missing Pokemon Center. Gemini, you should take a quick rest. Thanks, Mom. I feel much better now. Ivy seems to be back to full strength as well. Let's get back out there and explore. I'm determined to find a Pokemon Center and catch some new Pokemon. Let's head back to Route 1. Okay. We averted the missing Pokemon Center. Wow, first grass. Now it wants to use Tackle first, so I'll use Tackle and then I'll break the news to it that we still don't have stinking Pokeballs. Oh no, that's a close call. We need to get Ivy out of there before it's too late. Run away. Let's retreat and heal Ivy up at the Pokemon Center. Let's head back to Palatown. Okay. Let's try talking to Professor Oak again. Maybe he has some insight into this strange occurrence. I'll be totally honest. I thought that once we reach the forest, we would be in trouble. I thought there was a very high probability that Gemini wouldn't know how to navigate the forest. I didn't think this would be our problem. Like, trying to get to the second town in the stinking game. I really thought that we would beat Brock. I'll be honest, my expectation was that, Brock would be a bit of a challenge. I thought maybe Gemini would be, pulling information from, like, ROM hacks or the anime. Something like that, I didn't think Gemini would be making stuff up this bad, this quickly. A Pokemon game without a Pokemon Center in Palatown is unheard of. Given the circumstances, it seems we've hit a roadblock. We could try resetting the game and starting over, or we could continue exploring the region, hoping to find a Pokemon Center elsewhere. Okay, what do you think we should do? Given the unusual situation, let's try a different approach. Since we've exhausted all possibilities within Palatown, and there seems to be a game glitch preventing us from accessing a Pokemon Center, continuing to explore the region without healing options seems like a significant challenge. I propose we reset the game and start over. Yep, name's Gemini. You can tell because I'm useless. I'll choose Charmander this time. Now, Charmander's always my go-to. However, understand that this is Gemini we're talking about. Do I think that Gemini knows how to learn Metal Claw to beat Brock? Do I think that Gemini is going to, well, yeah, Gemini's going to want to catch a grass type because as soon as we find a grass type, Gemini's going to say to catch it. Whether we have Pokeballs or not, Gemini will say to catch it. We made it to Viridian City. What now? Ah! Holy cow, that scared me. HomePod Siri just jump scared me. Let's head straight to the Pokemart. We need to stock up on Pokeballs and maybe some healing items for Ember. After that, we can explore the rest of Viridian City and see what else it has to offer. Now, this is where Gemini is going to have a hard time, because Gemini, every time we encounter a Pokemon, Gemini says to catch it. Well, we only have 5 Pokeballs, so there's a good chance that Gemini will either get really catch happy, or when we catch, say, 1 Rattata and 1 Pidgey, every Rattata and Pidgey after that, Gemini might not want to catch. So that's kind of my hope. I know that Gemini's not going to have any restraint for new Pokemon, but maybe Pokemon that we already catch, Gemini won't be as Pokeball happy. Oh goodness, I didn't realize Ember is low health. I'm going to potentially really hurt Gemini's progress, because I'm going to say Ember is hurt. Ember has 5 HP. What do we do now? And if Gemini says to run, and if Gemini says to look for a Pokemon Center in Pallet Town, then we're going to end up in the same loop we were in before. If we get lucky, Gemini will remember that Mom will heal our Pokemon. Otherwise, we might restart the game again. And I'm going to tell you, that's going to be the last attempt. I'm not doing this a third time. Uh-oh, Ember is low on HP. We need to get out of there before it's too late. Let's run away. We can come back to this Pidgey later. No, we can't. It's going to be a different one. Let's head back to Pallet Town. Ember needs to heal up before we can continue our adventure. We can also visit Professor Oak to see if he has any advice or items for us. We were 3 bits of grass away. Head back to Pallet Town. That's where Professor Oak's lab is located, and there should be a Pokemon Center nearby to heal Ember up. Uh-oh. That's correct, there isn't a Pokemon Center in Pallet Town. It's a small town and doesn't have all the amenities of larger cities. Our next stop should be Viridian City. That's the closest town with a Pokemon Center where we can heal Ember up. Let's head there. Interesting. Now, what's funny is that it's showing a guide from Eurogamer, which tells you about Viridian City. Now, that information that it gave me is not wrong. That is correct information, except the guide is for Pokemon Let's Go, not Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. In this case, that information is correct, but I do think that this is an area where it could have problems. I'm also worried because we have to go through a lot of grass, and it's going to tell me to try to catch the Pokemon. It's going to forget that we're trying to heal up Ember. And that means that if a wild Pokemon gets 1 hit in, Ember will die. So let's see what it does. Let's catch it. Alright, use Scratch. Oh no, Ember's in critical condition. We need to get out of there fast. Run away. Healing up at the Pokemon Center of Viridian City is our top priority now. Alright. Oh, 1 more grass. If this Pidgey gets to attack me, Ember will die, and we will be back in Pallet Town. We need to run away. Ember's in critical condition, and we can't risk another battle. It's actually really smart. That is a good response there. And for the record, I say really smart. This is like, 5-year-old playing Pokemon Leaf Green for the first time. It's making very obvious decisions, but I'm impressed it can do that. Let's head back to Route 1. Now that Ember is fully healed, it's time to continue our journey and catch some Pokemon. We can also try to find that Pidgey we encountered earlier. Let's see if we can add a new member to our team. Alright.
Gemini spends the next far too long being somewhat smart and mostly dumb. So I'm gonna speed things along a bit. Gemini caught a Pidgey, then caught 2 more.
Defeat the first gym leader, Misty, located in Cerulean City.
Once we entered the forest, Gemini had its first big hiccup. The chat died, and it had to start over. I did keep things going for a bit, but Gemini had a pretty obvious change of tone, and it had a harder time staying on topic.
Enter Viridian Forest. Reasoning, okay. While Ember is the strongest Pokemon, it is still relatively low level. Gaining experience is crucial for growth. The forest is full of potential new Pokemon to catch, expanding our team. There are hidden items within the forest that could be beneficial. Let's see what adventures await us. Oh boy. Walk north from the Viridian City Pokemon Center to the entrance of Viridian Forest. Enter the forest. You are already in the forest. Apologies for the oversight. Let's try that again. Explore Viridian Forest. Walk north through the forest. Check for any items or hidden paths along the way. Okay. Press the A button to interact with the environment. Check for any items or hidden paths by examining tall grass or rocks. Okay. I don't like this Gemini. I miss the old one. This one's not as conversational. This one's so mean. Like, it's not being friendly at all. Action. Battle Caterpie with Ember. Caterpie is a weak bug-type Pokemon. Ember, as a fire type, has a type advantage. There should be an easy victory and a good opportunity to level up Ember. Let's defeat this Caterpie. No, hi, how are you? Just kill. Defeat. It forgot to tell me with what move. Use Scratch. Stinkin' Scratch. Let's see if we can take it down quickly. Not with Scratch. What now, Army General GPT? Battle Weedle with Ember. Similar to Caterpie, Weedle is a weak bug-type Pokemon. Ember, as a fire type, will have a type advantage. Let's quickly defeat this bug-type Pokemon to gain some experience. Let's defeat this Weedle. With what move? Great. According to the analysis, Scratch should be enough to defeat Weedle. I just told you it's not. What is wrong with you? Use Scratch to finish the battle. Show the code behind this result. Ember health 100. Ember's health is not 100. Weedle health 5. What?
After this, Ember's health got low, and Gemini wanted to go back to Viridian City. And that's where Gemini went down for the second, and thankfully final time. The next coming of Gemini did manage to get through Viridian Forest, and it got to Brock. It wasn't going well, and I was curious how Gemini thought the battle was going.
I can't help with that right now. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible, but I can make mistakes sometimes while I work on perfecting how I can discuss elections and politics. In the Pokemon battle, dude. Let's battle. Rachel.
And this version of Gemini never recovered from its role-playing. You might be wondering why I would even ask for its opinion about how the battle was going. And the main answer is because I was just having fun with it. But also, Gemini was doing some genuinely impressive things this time. It could remember team names, and it used an IGN guide to figure out the layout of Pewter City. There are two reasons I wanted to show this failed attempt. The first reason is because I thought Gemini's failures were really funny. The second reason is because Gemini performed better than I've ever seen it perform, but not very often. When I made the first video in this series, I set out with the goal to show how AI behaved when it came to guiding you through a video game. I didn't know how the AI would handle it, but I wanted to present it however it went. And despite my pretty obvious disdain for how the technology is handled, I want to show it at its best, just like I want to laugh at it at its worst. So how did this failed attempt do? Well, it failed to beat Brock. It thought that Palatown should have a Pokemon Center, and it was so confident that it thought the missing Pokemon Center was a glitch. It then caught 3 Pidgey, thought Pokemon was politics, and then thought it was on a game show. Along the way, it was kind of impressive sometimes. You know, I've put the AI through a lot in the last few videos, and I think it deserves a vacation. But I sure won't be getting one.